So in this video, I'm going to explain to you guys something that is very important to a lot of buyers right now, especially buyers looking for homes in Florida, which is the different flood zones, how to navigate the different flood zones, and how to somewhat calculate your risk for future flooding and stuff like that. So I'm going to show you guys how I do that. Come with me on this journey. Hopefully you can learn a thing or two. Let's check it out. All right, so check out this lot right behind me here. This lot I just sold 3 days ago. This vacant lot is located in flood zone AE. Now, flood zone AE means that if you have a mortgage on your home, flood insurance is required. Now, what you want to do is you want to look around the neighborhood. The neighborhood always gives you subtle hints on how at risk you are, basically, with your flood zone, if you have a high risk flood zone or a lower risk flood zone. Now, let's check out the neighbor's house right here. You guys see the neighbor's house right here? This home was constructed probably in the last couple of years or so. So it's not too old, right? And it was probably built to the newest flood codes. You guys can see that it wasn't elevated that much, so it's about a foot or so. This goes to show you that the elevation here, even though it is in a flood zone, it is fairly high. And what that will tell my buyer is that if you build here, most likely you're not going to have to elevate the home too much, which is going to save on the building cost. And he has a choice. He can elevate a little more, or you can just do the bare minimum. It'll save on his building cost. So always look at the new construction in the neighborhood and see where they are as far as elevation goes. That'll give you a really good idea on how much of a high risk flood zone this is. Another thing you want to do is you want to go to the county website and you want to look at any property that's in the neighborhood that was built kind of right around the time the last hurricane was. In this case scenario, that would be Hurricane Ian. And you want to see if there's any hazard flood permits that were pulled. That will show you if there's any flooding that entered the house, if there was any water that entered the house. So that'll give you a really good idea there. And then you can see what the elevation was on that property. You can drive by and take a look at it. But I'm going to show you guys another neighborhood right now. So come with me, check this out. So right now I'm in the yacht club area here in Cape Coral in the city where I live. And this happens to be one of the most beautiful areas. It is located in a pretty brutal flood zone, and simultaneously happens to be one of the oldest neighborhoods that we have. So you have a lot of homes from the 50s and 60s. And of course, back then they didn't build them a certain way. It's a very expensive neighborhood. So a lot of people with money come here. They tear the homes down just for the lot value, and then they build a new home to the new code. And I'm going to show you guys what issue that creates. Check this out right here. So take this property, for example, right? You got the new construction on the left, and then you got the older home on the right. What happens if this guy right here gets another new construction on the right side, then it's going to create a little bit of a valley. You guys can see the height difference there, right? So when it rains or floods, ultimately at some point, the water, and the more new construction homes pop up in the area, the less expansion the water has. So the water is going to all accumulate here in the little valleys here that this house is in, right? One day, it's going to be a really bad day. Okay, just make sure that if you buy a home in a flood zone, you don't have this type of scenario where you are kind of locked in a valley. So the lesson is if you're buying an older home in a flood zone, make sure you don't buy one that has a vacant lot right here and a vacant lot on the other side right here. Now, I hope this video was very informative to you guys. I hope you guys learned something. If you're looking for a home in Cape Coral that is not in a flood zone, you want a list of homes where you don't have to worry about any of this stuff, just let me know and I'll be happy to send it over to you guys. But until then, see you guys next time.